Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man. One look at his resume and the reason becomes clear. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and self-awakening, he lives his bliss as a teacher, mentor, speaker, minister, and so much more. His mission is to live, move, and be an active, authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, emancipate, awaken, and empower people and communities.
Let us frolic. Come on, man. No, come on, man. Give me.
I thought, what are you doing?
Move.
That's not nice. Don't say move.
Good morning, Tracy.
I give y'all Reverend Dr. Ray.
Muchas gracias, Tracy. How are you today? You better from your walk yesterday? Because we're going on another one today.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. So let us breathe. Because we're going to dive into a little bit of stuff today that I would venture to say most of us on some level do some of the things that we're going to talk about today. So the idea, rise and reemerge. The invitation this week is to rise and reemerge through the practice of restoration, integration, self-care, and evolution. So Ernest Holmes says, spiritual growth is the essence and beautiful action of life itself. I love the part, the essence and beautiful action of life itself. This is eminently important and is the ultimate reward which reflects in your abilities and activities of daily living. The essence and beautiful action of life itself, of Spirit of God, reflects in your abilities and activities of daily living. Breathe. Because there's this thing that we do that sort of blocks or hinders this reflection in our abilities and activities of daily living. And that thing would be this: burning the candle at both ends. When your number is the 911 for family and friends, neighbors and strangers, the person at the corner bodega, the person who, when you're the call for the world, when you're the one who must carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, when you are the one who says, if it's got to get done, I'm the one who has to do it, so I do it and do it and do it again. Well, where in all of this is your opportunity to rest, recharge, renew? When you're the one who is doing things that really aren't yours to do, when you're the one who is burning the midnight oil and not getting enough sleep. Because all of this stuff, this general idea of burning the candle at both ends, is what depletes us. Now, to be depleted, to be spent, to be exhausted, to be impoverished, to have a scarcity of energy and zeal and vitality. One cannot frolic, one cannot play, one cannot be light when you are empty, when you are consumed and used up, when you are missing the mark. Because what did we say before? There's this reflection of Spirit in our daily activities, in our lives. But when we are doing this thing that depletes us, we're missing the mark. We're not living at our highest and best. We are driving the car, the automobile of our lives, but we are running on fumes. Where do you, in your general, just pick a day, Thursday, just pick a day, Saturday afternoon at 3, just pick a day, pick a time and ask, what is your average energy level? Are you running on full 99% of the time? Are you running half full 75%? Are you running on, it's on E, but I know I got 10 miles left before E hits fumes, and I'm doing that about 90%. Where do you tend to fall in this scope of energy and ability to live life fully? Because keep in mind, you know, we talk about this idea of the law of circulation and tithing and abundance and prosperity. Abundance and prosperity is not just in your dollars and cents. It is an overflow and abundance of energy, an abundance of vitality. There are many times where Tracy will refer to me as the Energizer Bunny. And she'll say, dude, where do you get all this energy from? Like, what are you, what, can I sip some of the tea that you're drinking? Because what are you doing? Because I give myself time to rest and recharge. I give myself time so that I'm not weighted down, so that my batteries aren't, now there are times, let's not fake the funk. There are times when I do run all cylinders. Hey, excuse me, this is my sermon. There are times when I am running all cylinders and I say, Tracy, I'm gonna go take a nap. Tracy, I need to chill. Tracy, I'm gonna just relax today and watch TV. So I give myself the opportunity to rest and recharge so that I can re-emerge with a full charge. We charge our phones. The battery in the car has to be charged. Like, we charge those things, but not ourselves. So yes, there is this practice of being aware enough of where is your energy. In Japan, there is a word. Anybody know what this is? Type in the chat if you know what karoshi, if you know what this means. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. So what is karoshi means? Death from being overworked. Because in Japan, there is a thing where people work so hard, they literally, this isn't figurative, they literally drop dead at their desks from overworking. How many of us are pushing the envelope of doing that? Now, it may not be literally work, like going to a job, but we overwork ourselves with being the one who has to support the family. We overwork ourselves with being the one who has to do everything for everyone else, for God forbid they do their own laundry. We are the ones who they call when they need moral support. but I'm running on fumes myself. There are a variety of ways that we allow ourselves to be overtaxed, overworked, overdone, overrun, overwhelmed. Check your battery. Are you feeling great? Are you feeling meh? Where are you? Because if you're not aware, then it's like driving your car and you're in the third state and you keep on driving, you're going through the ninth city and you're in the next state, and then all of a sudden the car is like, and then you pull over and you're like, what happened? And you look and the car is like, I was trying to tell you about 100 miles before, I ain't got no more gas. You didn't stop and pull over so I'm gonna take a nap now. And then you're like, oh man, now what am I going to do? I got to get out the car and walk to get gas, when had I been mindful enough to check the gas gauge, I would have seen 100 miles yonder that the car needed gas. And I could have pulled over and filled her up and kept on going. If we don't check in, if we are not self-aware and mindful enough to check in, then we are running the risk of doing the same thing. We're talking on the phone. Yeah, so look, what happened? No, I'll be over there. What time? It's 3 a.m. Okay, I'm on my, the phone dies. Why'd my phone die? Because you didn't plug it in and recharge it. Man, it dropped my call. Man, I dropped my life. Man, I don't have time. I don't have energy. I don't have the wherewithal to do what is mine to do because I'm not aware of how I'm living and moving and having my beingness with this thing called infinite energy. Parker Palmer, I gotta say Peter Parker. Parker Palmer said, self-care is never a selfish act. It is simply good stewardship of the only gift I have, the gift I was put on earth to offer others, the gift I was put on earth to be to myself and others. That gift being me, that gift being you, that gift being the totality of your life. If you are not stewarding it well, then what is that passage in the Bible about throwing pearls before swine? You are just wasting all of your time, your effort, your energy. You're just tossing it out there, not taking care of yourself. And then wonder why you're moody or ill, sleepy, drained, because you're not tithing to you first. You're not taking that nap when you need a nap. You're not reaching out to resources. You're not checking in with a therapist if you need. You're not sitting and just meditating and chilling and breathing. You're not doing whatever your self-care is. Now, the opposite of being depleted is to increase, to strengthen, to save, to fill, to pour into your own life so your cup runneth over, to add and extend. Is that what we are doing on any given day? Check in and ask, where am I adding to my life? So that when I wake up in the morning, I wake up refreshed and ready versus I wake up and I'm like, oh man, oh, dude. Oh man, I could so use another hour. I barely got time to do my hair, and I got to. Which one feels better? Waking up and being in that space of, oh man, I gotta get really honest. Oh man, or waking up and you're like, yes, I'm ready. Today's word of the day. I'm going to frolic my butt everywhere I go. I'm going to go shopping and they're going to be like, look, there's that Ray dude frolicking through frozen foods. It's raining and Ray is frolicking through the rain, singing. Dude, which one is better? Waking up and being fatigued and tired, coming home from a day of, when I used to be a public school teacher, at the end of the day, I was so worn out. I could barely get the fork of dinner to my mouth. Like peas were going in my nose because I was so tired. Like, but Tracy, I got swallowed another pea through my nose. And Tracy's like, dude, breathe, slow down, eat. Boom. Oh, my face fell in the mashed potatoes again because I'm tired, I'm sleepy. I wasn't taking care of myself. When we are ideally taking care of ourselves, we are able to show up in whatever environment, whatever place we show up, and we are able to have the energy, have the calm, have the sense of spirit moving in through and as us to be able to navigate and enjoy and play and do the work that is ours to do, to let that gift be gifted to others. Ernest Holmes says, there is something within you that sings the song of eternity. Listen to it. You know, oftentimes people talk about that still small voice. You've heard me mention many times, the voice of spirit is not small. It is loud and clear. But when we are depleted, when we are tired, when we are running, burning the candle at both ends, then I don't hear my intuition. I don't hear spirit. Because you're too busy listening to how tired you are, how overworked you are, how overwhelmed you are, that you're drowning out the sound. But when you are refreshed and renewed, the voice of intuition, the sound of intuition, the call of intuition, the universe is loud and clear. How often during the day do you listen to it? Do you listen for it? How often do you listen from it? It's very easy to be tempted to listen to the lies that say, well, if you don't do it, it ain't going to get done. So burn the candle at both ends. Well, if you don't, who will? He's not going to do his laundry, do it for him. They're not going to do this, do it for them. Turn your phone on in case somebody calls. Step into the realm of codependency because it feels good to be needed, even when codependency is draining me of my own vitality and energy to such a point that I am allowing my life to wither and fade away. Really? We have a choice. We either listen to truth and live from truth, or we listen to the lie and live from that, in which case we miss the mark. The gift of us never gets unwrapped. The walk that we are here to walk never gets moved through, moved as. The prayer never gets prayed. The art never gets created. The love never gets expressed. But it's always a choice. There are times when we say things like, man, when life knocks you down, how many times have money issues been the thing that sucker punched you? The job, the illness, the relationships, the betrayal, the not being called personally to your face to be told that a relative died, but you have to find out from Facebook. The whatever it is, how often the comparisons of, but they pray so much better than I do. I want to pray like them. That whatever this is, sucker punches us. And we're like, oh man, and we hit the mat. The important thing to remember is, whatever the situations, the conditions, the experiences that may happen that knock us down, it is never life that is doing it. It is an experience, it is a condition, it is never life. Life itself is the harmony, the divinity of the universe itself. It is God, and God is never doing this to you, which would be to itself. God does not do this. Pause and breathe. So the important thing is to remember, it does not matter how many times you get knocked down, as Roy T. Bennett reminds us. It is not how many times you get knocked down. Rather, it is that you get up one more time. If you get knocked down 7, get up 8. You get knocked down 10, get up 11. The important thing is to anchor and ground in truth so that no matter what the situation is, we are able to say, yeah, no. Back in my fundamentalist Christian days, what we would say in this moment is, not today, Satan, right? And what we know in our metaphysical position is Satan is the lie. So today we are in essence saying, yeah, not today. I will not believe the lie. I will not believe that life is doing this to me. I will not believe that the universe is somehow punishing me. I will not believe or choose to act from a space that says I'm not good enough, that says I can't have what I deserve or desire. I will not listen to that voice. I will rise yet again. Why? Because that is the nature of spirit. That which it is in me rises again. It recharges, it renews, and reemerges. Brene Brown says, courage is contagious. Rising strong changes not just you, but also the people around you. What does it say in that poem, prayer kind of thing? Our greatest fear. It ends with, and when you do this, you give other people permission to do the same. When you rise in your courage and move from that place of power, you give other people, that contagion falls onto them. And they now rise up as well. They are now in a better position to do what is theirs to do because you have set the example. So no matter if you are knocked down, doesn't matter. But what matters is, as Proverbs says, for though the righteous fall 7 times, they will rise again. Yes, Daniel got knocked down. Yes, Daniel was wounded. And yet, when Mr. Miyagi poured into him, when Mr. Miyagi demonstrated to him, I've got you. When Mr. Miyagi encouraged him and gave courage to him, Daniel was able to rise yet again and do what was his to do. Today, that is our invitation as well. Reverend Ray, I think I know him. He says, our ability to rise and reemerge, renewed, refreshed, and recharged, like Yeshua at the resurrection, depends upon our willingness to be still, to do what is ours to do and no more, to tend to our storehouse, the wealth of our own being. Pause and breathe. Because from a metaphysical point of view, let's reflect on this dude, Yeshua, who spent how many days in the tomb? Tracy got the number 3 up. 3 days in the tomb. He got still. He got quiet. While it was called death, how do we know dude wasn't just taking an extended retreat, a nap to say, y'all done wore me out. I done tried to teach y'all and fed y'all and turned water into wine, and y'all keep coming up trying to, Jesus, help me. Jesus, do this. Jesus, do that. I changed my name. My name ain't Jesus anymore. My name is Stephen. Because if it's going, I'm in the witness protection program. Leave me alone. And if it takes me going into the tomb, receding into the darkness of my own consciousness, my mind, the ground from whence the seed is planted and rises again, I go into the ground and I am nourished. And from that place of groundedness, darkness, stillness, quiet, he was able to reemerge, to resurrect, renewed, and ready to do what was his to do. That is our invitation as well, to rise like the phoenix, ready to do what is ours to do. Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson says, as the infinite expressing itself, its divine magnificence as you, do you realize you have the ability to choose? You can choose peace or war, calm or confusion, struggle or surrender, hate, fear, or loving compassion. And what you choose, the law says yes, without question. You are the word made flesh. Breathe that in again. You are the word made flesh, and your thoughts, your feelings and emotions, your actions are creative. What will you create with your life today? Breathe. Breathe and recognize that no matter what is going on, no matter what the ashes around you may be, you have the opportunity in this moment right now to rise, renewed, refreshed, ready to reemerge into the world, ready to do what is yours to do, ready to spread truth and love and joy and light, ready to set yourself ablaze with the illumination of spirit, because that which it is, you are. So we breathe and we ground as we prepare for this week's journaling assignments and spiritual practices. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, Tracy. 1, identify some of the ways that you deplete your reserves. Tracy said, I ain't got enough paper. Do you deplete your reserves by not getting enough sleep? Tracy said, yep. Are your food choices depleting your energy? Tracy's like, ah. Are you doing too much? She threw her hands way up in the air. She's doing the hallelujah. That's me. But identify some of the ways that you are depleting your reserves. What practices will you commit to this week to replenish your storehouses, your reserves? What will you do for yourself this week that brings that energy back into your life, that puts gas back into the gas tank, that puts that pep back into your step? Whatever that is, what will you commit to this week for yourself? And this week, have a conversation with 3 people about what self-care looks like for you. What does it mean for you to choose you first? Challenges you have with caring for yourself. What does rise and reemerge mean specifically in your life? And with full reserves, what would your life look like? If your tank is full, your battery is in the green, you are moving from the overflow, what does your life then look like? Breathe. This week's declaration, affirmation, I will say it first, then together if you feel so aligned. Today, I rise and reemerge, fully nourished, restored, and renewed. Together, today, I rise and reemerge, fully nourished, restored, and renewed. Breathe, 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 breathe that in, breathe that in. In this moment, we simply allow ourselves to be grateful. Grateful for everything from the pre-service meditation and music on through the opening invocation, spiritual practice, in-service music, the interpreters, the hosting, the message, the tithing, the giving, the building, the knowing that any moment we are able to tune in and check in with ourselves, with spirit, with source, as it is living, moving, and having its beingness as us. That at any moment we are able to choose truth, choose to recharge, choose to renew, choose to resurrect, choose to allow the phoenix to rise. At any moment we get to choose. And so as service comes to an end, we recognize that that thing called service continues on throughout the day, throughout our lives, and throughout all of eternity. So just because this is coming to a close, in a little bit of time, a group of CSL Greater Baltimore folks will continue to serve as community at Mother's Grill. That others will continue to serve in their families with friends. Some will continue to serve with lunch or dinner or just watching television. But we are always in service to ourselves, through ourselves, as ourselves, God serving itself through all. So in gratitude, we surrender this into the law, knowing the law says yes, and knowing that this service from the beginning to now is answered prayer. And so it is. Amen.